Hello traders, welcome back to Simply Forex. Lovely to see you. This video, guys, we're going to look at how we can trade multiple time frames to form the basis of a very powerful strategy. Okay, this is what I do as part of my strategy and how I use the different time frames. And you can do something similar. We can find a time frame that best suits you. All right, so let me explain, guys. So generally speaking, the world of trading, you've got the day chart, H4. These are, typically the most traded time frames. H1, yeah, M15. And M5. Okay, so these are generally the most traded time frames. Yeah, M5 for scalping, M15 for scalping maybe, but these are generally the most traded. So what I'm going to propose is we can combine daily with H1, we can do M4 with M15, and we can combine H1 with M5. Okay. And basically, guys, what we're looking for is this. We're looking for daily, if we choose daily and H1, we want daily to be in an uptrend, and we want H1 structure to be in an uptrend, okay? Or we could do H4. We want H4 to be in an uptrend or a downtrend. Let's do a downtrend. So therefore, we want M15 to be in a downtrend. Okay, or we could do H1, this could be in an uptrend or a downtrend, but let's do an uptrend. Therefore, we want to see the 5-minute chart, excuse my writing, in an uptrend as well. Okay, so this is the simple premise of it, but let's look at some examples for each one now and show you how I trade it. I use this one, guys, daily with the H1. Okay, but perhaps, some of these time frames would better suit you, better suit your personality. So we will look at those as well. But we're going to start with daily and the H1, guys. All right, so let's take a look at some examples. So our first example is this. This is New Zealand dollar against the Japanese yen. And remember, we're going to combine the day chart with the H1 chart. Okay, this is the idea. So first of all, we look at the day chart and we find the trend. All right. And as you can see, guys, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs, higher lows, higher highs. Still, these lows haven't been broken. Okay. So for me, we are still in an uptrend. We got higher highs and these lows are holding. Okay. So daily is in an uptrend. Okay. Day chart is in an uptrend. So therefore, when we drop down to the H1, we want the H1 structure or trend to be in an uptrend. Okay, very simple, guys. Okay, so bear that in mind. Let's drop down to the H1 now. Okay, and let's find this wonderful entry. Okay, so price here is in a downtrend on the H1. Okay, and remember, guys, this is no good for us. We want to be with H1 uptrend. Okay, and then sure enough, guys, yeah, once we get that uptrend, so price is sort of, moving in and around, yeah, this area to this area. Okay, but as soon as we get a break of this area, we therefore have a H1 uptrend. And I'm also going to show you something else I use as well. So as soon as we get a break of these highs, yeah, with these candles here, H1 structure is now in an uptrend. Okay, this is what we want. Also, guys, I also look for price to be above the moving average 20. Okay, so we need to be above the moving average 20. And this gray line you can see running through my chart is the moving average 20. So, and remember, the daily is in an uptrend. So daily was in an uptrend tick. H1 structure at this point here is in an uptrend tick. And we're above the moving average 20 here, tick. Okay, this is a prime time entry. Yeah, we love this entry. So let's remove all this off the screen so you can see the actual trade. All right, so we get that break, guys. Yeah, we get that H1 structure break. You could enter here, and I will always put my stop below the swing low for an uptrend or the swing high for a downtrend. And then as you can see, guys, yeah, it comes down. If we didn't enter here, we get another beautiful entry here with this green candle off the moving average 20. Again, we could enter here. We still have to put our stop down here. And then just look, we can just follow price all the way back up to our next support and resistance zone, which this gray zone is. So it's as simple as that, guys. All right. So daily is in an uptrend. Therefore, we need to see H1 in an uptrend, and we need to see price above the moving average 20. Okay. Here ticks all of those boxes to take price higher. All right. So that's New Zealand Japanese yen. Let's take a look at an example of a downtrend now. Oh, this is Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar. Okay, and this is the day chart. So what's the trend? Okay, the trend is a downtrend. Yeah, you don't need to be Warren Buffett to see this is in a downtrend. Okay, so daily downtrend. And remember, what do we want to see? We want to see H1 in a downtrend, and we want to see price below the moving average 20. Okay, so now let's look at the H1. Okay, so daily is in a downtrend. Now let's drop down to the H1. This is in real time, guys. We want to look for the last downtrend that we had. All right, so arguably here, guys, because I actually took this trade. So at this point, all right, the H1 structure has been coming down, and then we get a push up. Okay, breaking these highs. Okay, so these are the last lows. It comes up again. At this point, we are in a H1 uptrend. All right. So remember, this is no good for us. But when we get this candle here, yeah, that breaks the lows on the H1, we therefore have a trade. Okay. So at this, with this candle here, we then have H1 structure in a downtrend, and you can see the moving average 20 running through here, guys. And for a downtrend, we want to be below the moving average 20. Okay, below. Excuse my A. I've been drinking. And then where do we put our stop? We put our stop above the last swing high here. Okay, and again, yeah, let's watch this trade play out. So let me just get rid of this. Yeah. All right, we enter. We could potentially enter on this candle. Yeah, we start selling here. I would probably wait for a retrace, but nonetheless, yeah, we've broken this level. We put our stop above here, and at no point are we wrong. You know, H1 structure just carries on down. Okay, and you would have made some nice profit down here. The only time where we are wrong is when H1 structure changes. Okay, so you could just take profit when the reverse happens. So at this point, perhaps we've taken profit, perhaps we haven't. But then price starts to build up. And when we start breaking these last highs, yeah, and we get higher highs, the H1 downtrend is over. And then look what happens, guys. All right. So, yeah, very simple premise, but very powerful. This is the basis of my strategy. So on this downtrend, the day chart told us we can short this pair. The H1 structure was in a downtrend. Yeah, and we were below the moving average 20. Okay. So once we get all of these things, tick, 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 at this candle here, we have a nice trade, okay? And there's nice profits to be had. All right, guys, so yeah, combine daily with H1. We're now going to look at some examples with H4 and M15. Guys, if you're enjoying this strategy vid, then why not come join us? Yeah, subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button, and everyone right now, smash the like button if you're enjoying the vid. All right, yeah, and come join us. We've also got free Discord, we've got mentorship program, and we've got YouTube membership as well, guys. All right, so yeah, come join us. We also do live streams 8 a.m. New York EST time every day, Monday to Thursday, Friday off. So exactly the same premise, guys. I just showed you daily with H1. We're now going to look at H4, yeah, with M15. Yeah, maybe this time frame suits your personality better. This will give you more setups, obviously. So perhaps this time frame is more suited for you and your personality. So let's check and have a look. I could show you an uptrend or a downtrend. The premise is the same, guys, but this is Euro US dollar. This is the H4 chart. And as you can see, guys, it's clearly in a downtrend, okay? So these two blue lines, this is where it started, this is where it finished roughly. All right, so we're just looking for M15 opportunities in this downtrend. All right, and remember, if H4 is in a downtrend, yeah, we want to see M15 in a downtrend, okay, and the moving average 20, okay. We want to have price below the moving average 20. Yeah, simple as that, guys. All right, so let's drop down to the M15 chart now. Let's scroll across so we can see we're between these blue lines. I don't know. Let's start here. Okay, guys, so M15. Remember, we want to see M15 downtrend and below moving average 20. So at this point, we are clearly in an uptrend, okay? But as soon as this low breaks with this candle or this candle, yeah, we can start selling. Yeah, we can start selling here, put your stop above here. Why can we start selling here? Because at this point, M15 becomes a downtrend, yeah, because we're getting lower lows, breaks this low here, and we're below the moving average 20. Okay, moving average 20, we're below that, as you can see. Yeah, moving average 20 is here. So we can start shorting this pair. All right, and then just follow the M15 structure along. Yeah, we've broken these lows here, price breaks down, and then we can just follow that M15 structure down. Okay, and then we're only really wrong here, because at this point, this is when M15 structure changes. Okay, so you could potentially take it all the way down from here, all the way down to here. Okay, very simple, guys. Yeah, and then price starts in an, okay, let's look at a different example now. Okay, so let's look at this one. So price comes along. Yeah, we're currently in an uptrend. All right, we're getting higher highs, and in price, we get this candle, yeah, breaking this low and even this low. At this point, again, M15 is in a downtrend, and we are below the moving average 20. Okay, we can enter here, put our stop above here, and then look to take price down again. Okay, it's as simple as that, guys. All right, so yeah. At this point, we're in a H4 downtrend. So is the M15 is in a downtrend. Yeah. And we're below this moving average 20. Yeah. Tick, tick, tick. Trade it. Yeah. Take a short. Okay. So yeah, that's Euro US dollar short trade highlighting H4 with M15. Let's look at one more example now with the H1 and the 5-minute chart. So guys, you can start to see how powerful these setups can be, yeah, if we combine a couple of time frames, all right, and enter on the lower time frame. So we've looked at daily and H1, we've looked at H4 with M15. We are now going to look at H1, yeah, with the M5 M5, the 5-minute chart, guys. Okay. Again, this time frame may suit you better, may suit your personality. Maybe you're the kind of trader who needs trades. Yeah, this will give you more setups than obviously daily with H1. Okay, so this time we looked at a short trade, a downtrend with Euro Yen. So let's look at a buy trade with Pound New Zealand dollar and look at an uptrend on the H1. So again, I've highlighted the start and finish of a H1 uptrend. Okay, so you can clearly see, guys, price has been in an uptrend. Okay, and that's what we're looking for first of all. So H1, yeah, is in an uptrend. And then the same again, guys, we just need to see M5 in an uptrend, yeah, and we need to see price above the moving average 20 for an uptrend. Okay, very simple, guys. Like I said, they're all the premise of it is simple. All right, but the basis of this strategy is powerful, guys. All right, so let's start on the M5 now, and remember we're just looking for a build up in structure. So let's really zoom out and let's start with the start of this H1 structure. Okay, so let's really zoom in. Okay, so okay, let's start here, guys. So this blue line was the start of that H1 structure. Remember, we're looking for 5-minute to be in an uptrend and above moving average 20. So at this point, guys, we're in a downtrend. Okay, so again, this is no good to us. But eventually price builds up and we get a break. We get a break of these highs. We now have higher highs. We've got higher lows. We are in a 5-minute uptrend. Okay, so 5-minute uptrend, yeah, we're above the moving average 20. Okay, remember our H1 was in an uptrend. Okay, so at this point here, that ticks all of the boxes, ticks this, ticks this, ticks this. Okay, so we can enter on this trade. I tend to put my stop below the low here, okay? And then look, you can just see this trade comes flying up, all right? So let's just follow this trade, okay? So good entry. Let's zoom out a little bit, all right? And then, yeah, you can see that trade came up and we were only wrong once it started breaking these lows in here, okay? Then we were wrong. All right. Okay, let's look at another example, guys. Let's just scroll along. Remember, we're looking for buys because of the H1. All right, and there's one here, guys. You don't have to look too far. It will give you an entry. So price builds up. As soon as we get a break of these highs, we've now got higher lows, higher highs. M5 is in an uptrend. We are above the moving average 20. Enter, yeah. We can enter here, yeah, put our stop below here or even here, okay, and then just take price up again, guys. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, guys, when we combined a higher time frame and enter on the lower time frame, this combination can be very powerful and give us very good setups. And we just want the structure, the trend to align. And we want to be above or below the moving average 20, depending on if we're looking for an uptrend or a downtrend, guys. So yeah, try to adopt this into your strategy. It's a real powerful tool. I use it as part of my strategy. I use the daily with the H1. And yeah, I hope you've enjoyed the vid, guys. And if you have, then come join us. Yeah, subscribe to the channel, smash the notification button and smash the like button. We'd love to have you guys. See you next time.